Welcome back to America's Retirement Headquarters, home of the Retirement Guys Formula and America's Medicare Associates with Nolan Baker, Scott Kerschner, and Chaz Price. ARHQ.com. That's the website. The phone number, 419-794-3030. While the stock market decides if it's in a new bull market or not, there's still the question if we'll have a recession. Here's wealth advisor Richard Bernstein recently on CNBC.
You know, a year ago at this point, 90% of economists were saying we were either in a recession or one was imminent. I think that's down to about 40% now. And so I do think that, a recession's looming out there. I don't see the point to trying to time it and say it's going to start next Thursday at 2:15 in the afternoon. I just don't think that's a fruitful investment strategy.
Do you guys hear from clients who want to go to the sidelines with their money until this all blows over, until the smoke clears?
Well, I guess if we're either in a recession or about to have a recession, my 47 years of being here on the U.S., this is one of the longest debated questions for a long time, right?
It's changed drastically. Well, the definition of recession changed.
Right.
I mean, right? Who knows where we're at right now?
Are we in, are we out? I think the big part of this question comes down to, if you're a listener of the show and you've listened to the talking heads about a recession or what's going on in the economy, there's always a reason to not be invested. It's been that way ever since I got involved into this. I mean, I can remember as a kid in the young days, when I was with my dad in his blue Astro van and we were driving to the mall in the crash of 87 and he had the AM radio blaring in the background because of the crash of 87. Even if you look at the market and you think of the things that we've gone through as a country, the best time to be invested is always.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
The best time is to stay invested and don't let the short-term noise get in your way. I had a review recently. Somebody had come to our university class. We'll just call this guy Bill to protect his identity. But Bill had come in, and what he did, when I looked at his portfolio, I noticed his entire retirement was in cash. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of surprised. I'm like, well, why is your entire retirement account? He says, well, in October of last year, 2022, I just couldn't take it anymore. I just had to stop what was happening with the market going down. And he went to cash and he moved his money into cash. Now, here we are 3 quarters later. We've had 3 back-to-back positive quarters in the stock market. And what his question was is, do I get back in now?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a tough answer for him and for me to give because after missing out on what is a major rally since October, getting back into the market could be a painful lesson because the market's already had that big rally. Mm-hmm. So you have to realize, folks, you as an individual, you as a human, you have emotions, and emotions are something that are difficult when it comes to making, investment decisions about when to get in and out of the market. It comes down to, Chaz, understanding the plan and methodology. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would. And, you and I have talked about ad nauseum, really, when clients ask us, should we be getting in or out of the market? When we get out of the market, we have to be right twice. We have to be right once on the way out, and then we have to be right again on the way in. So we've already really reduced our chances. Generally, and I have had a few clients say, for whatever reason they wanted to get out of the market. Maybe I think the world was supposed to be ending a few weeks ago again or something like that. But almost always the answer is a resounding no. It's kind of like, to me, saying that if you need a new roof, you're just going to sell your house. It's just a drastic and it's a costly mistake that people make, and it may solve your problem in the short term, but it certainly doesn't do anything for you in the long term. So a couple reasons why. First of all, you lose money. When you sell your investments, the market goes down, you lock in those losses, and you miss out on any potential gains because you're out of the market. Mm-hmm. You also, like we said, you have to be right twice, but also we're talking about taxes now and fees because we may have, realized a loss or a gain. And it just, generally, I think not being in the market, not being invested in the largest companies in the world, the Fortune 500 firms, it reduces your income, because a lot of those companies that we talk about pay good, steady dividends, and those dividends our clients rely on. In many cases, dividends have grown almost 3 times as fast as inflation has. So we call it the inflation killer. getting in the stock market, owning some dividends is where I would want to be if I'm concerned about running out of money, because the dividends keep up. And then to your point, Nolan, the last 30 years, I think the market has grown something insane like 800% as compared to the fixed income market's only about 115 over the last 30 years. So it doesn't logically make sense to get out of the market really ever. But people do it because, like you said, it's an emotional game that a lot of people play.
And I think that, just goes back to demonstrating the value of working with a financial professional. So if you're listening today and you have a financial professional, maybe you haven't heard from them, maybe you need a second opinion, maybe you're wondering, what does your gut say about going to cash, and you just want to talk to somebody and talk that through. Let's take the emotions out of it. Let's help you make a sound financial decision, something that you don't look back and say, I wish I would have called the guys then, because we're available now. You can talk to us now. In fact, we've got some great solutions for you. So we have some ways that we can show you how to protect, some of your portfolio from significant declines while being able to participate when the market goes up. And you can do that without buying an annuity. There's different options that we have available. If you go to YouTube and you look at our America's Retirement Headquarters playlist and look at our model portfolios, Protected Equity, Iron Retirement, Dividend Kings, all of these portfolios, they have the ability to incorporate some technical analysis for you that we can add a gas pedal, add a circuit breaker into your portfolio. And when those economic conditions automatically have a strategy that's designed to reduce that risk. So we're using math to optimize your portfolio versus using your gut. As Chaz points out, if you go to cash, you got to get it right twice, when to get out and then when to get back in. So if you're having that feeling, you're the type of person that should pick up the phone call. Let us put together an independent portfolio analysis for you. Let us share, our years of wisdom about what you should do right now with today's markets.
That number is 419-794-3030. Once again, 419-794-3030. It is important, as we said previously, to control what you can control. We can't control what the markets are going to do. And truth be told, a lot of the times we can't really control what our emotions are going to do when we see things like a market drop. But if you have a plan in place that takes these into account, if you can have that emotional attachment, it is a good way to maintain the quality of your retirement. Make sure you don't jeopardize it on a whim, on a gut feeling. 419-794-3030 is how you get started, or go to the website, arhq.com.